Guys, so for this vlog I thought I'd do something a little bit different and try a new segment which I call Foodie Fridays, which pretty much just means instead of cooking once a week, I cook twice a week. So yeah, anyway, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays are going to be the days of the week that I do multiple different segments depending on which week it is. I don't have exact scheduling yet, but for Wednesdays it's gonna be a fresh take, welcome to my kitchen, DIYs and all that fun stuff. Saturdays is gonna be makeup and fashion and hair tips. So that, yeah. And for Fridays it's gonna be fitness Fridays, foodie Fridays, flashback Fridays. So got a lot of fun stuff coming your way soon, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned. And hope you guys enjoy this first ever Foodie Friday. Okay, bye. The things you'll need are some kind of dough. So I'm using Apollo just because I really like this brand, but you can use any brand. You need 2 eggs. If you're because you're going to be separating the egg whites from the egg yolks. You don't have to necessarily do this if you don't want to. It's just how I make it, but if you're going to be separating them, you will definitely need 2 eggs. That's requirements. You will need some blueberries. You don't need this many blueberries. And it doesn't have to be blueberries, it could be tomatoes, it could be whatever fruit or vegetable you want. It doesn't have to be that. And broccoli. So first thing you want to do is get 2 bowls here for separating your eggs if you're separating them. If you're not, you could just skip this step. But yeah, you need 2 bowls. One to put your egg yolks, one to put your egg whites, and make sure to leave an area down with a napkin or a paper towel or something to put down the empty shells after you do this. So I would recommend using the paper towels because then it's easier to wrap it up and throw it away. And it's bigger. Anyway, there is no simple way of cracking your eggs. There's different ways to crack your eggs, but I just cracked it the normal way because I can't do it the other way. Make sure you crack it really, really well, just because it makes it easier to break apart. Yeah. And try to get as much of the egg white out as you possibly can. And I know this is probably disgusting, gross to most of you that don't separate eggs, but I promise it's not as bad as it looks. Now you want to go back and forth a couple times. Just make sure you get all the egg whites out. There's a lot of it, so be warned. This may take a little bit of time. And you don't need necessarily get all of it out, so don't try to be a perfectionist and try to get every single drop out, because I guarantee you probably won't. But if you have most of it out, then it's pretty good. Now, I have here a paper towel. See? You just kind of lay it down and you drop your shells in and you're good to go. Then you do the same thing with the second egg. And make sure not to get anywhere really the egg whites or whatever, because afterwards you have to wash your hands, because in case you guys weren't aware, egg whites are not good to be on anything else besides in an omelet. So yes, cautionary warning to anybody watching this video. Make sure to wash your hands right before you open the eggs and right after you do the eggs. It's a key so you don't get sick. Most people, for some reason, do not wash their hands right after they separate the eggs, and I do not know why. Because I can guarantee you, most of you, even though you say you're all professionals and that you won't get any of the egg on your hand, you probably. So once you have separated your eggs, like I have, make sure to grease your pan, because you do not want it sticking to the pan. at all. But make sure not to spray too much, otherwise it'll get too oily and get sick. Now I'm using here Pam's Superior No Stick Curly Olive Oil. This is a really good brand. I also use the Emerald Lagers. Emerald, y'all know who Emerald, he's a really famous cook. I also use his. He has some really good flavors. Not for your, when you put on your food, it doesn't taste as oily, but this is not a bad brand, especially if you can't find that one. So yeah, just make sure to, sorry if it's a little bit bright. Make sure, anyway, so you want to make sure to not grease it too much. Just like that, and then once you're done kind of greasing your pan, just kind of take the pan and move it a little bit all over, so to make sure that the oil is actually everywhere, because if it's not, then you're kind of screwed. This is a kind of really long, annoying process, but it is necessary. So, yeah. But anyway, once you get fairly oiled enough, what you want to do is take your whites first, which are kind of yellow looking, but here you guys want to see. That's what it looks like. Anyway, once you get your take your whites and you pour it in. There we go. And you turn on the press. Now, for this special, sorry about that. Alright, make sure to have a spatula with you that's not too big for your pan. You don't need a really big pan. Just need like a good, pretty much measure your face and then just use a pan the same size, pretty much. But yeah, you don't want to use it too big of a pan just because you don't need that much room. But make sure, as always, to have a spatula because you want to make sure it doesn't stick to sides or anything like that. And yeah, so I'll get back to you guys in a little bit once it's cooked some more. Okay guys, so as you can see, it's starting to whiten a bit, so you want to make sure that it's not really sticking. So you want to kind of use like your edge of your spatula, just kind of go around. And as you can see, it's kind of bubbling. So that means almost right. Lower flames a bit. And yeah, once it gets to a certain point, you're gonna want to flip it. So this is a good time to get really underneath you. Now I can guarantee you, because it's so small, it's not gonna flip up, but whatever. That's not the point. Point